Being around you is such a life-changing experience. You show people just how much their dreams are possible and how they're able to accomplish anything they put their mind to. Being around you opens up doors that they usually would not have access to. Being around you brings opportunities into the forefront. And so between the open door and the revolving door, your presence in people's lives opens up doors that they usually would not either see or wouldn't even be capable of going through. And because you're in people's lives, it's like you are a compass and some form of guidance that they may truly need at that time. So you may be the type of person that attracts people at a period in their life where they're either bored, they're ready for the next step, or they don't know which direction to go towards. And so they inadvertently end up summoning you into their life, and you somehow guide them and help them reconnect not just into their intuition, but you also help them navigate their path. When people are around you, you definitely shine a light on the trickster spirit, not just in their lives, tricksters that try to sabotage them or bring them challenges. You also shine a light as to ways in which they trick themselves. So you show people their self-sabotaging ways. And let me just tell you, it is a very hard pill to swallow, because as soon as people find out all the things that they've been doing to contribute to where they're at in life, it brings grief. It brings disappointment. It sometimes even brings embarrassment, sadness. But once they get out of that phase, they get into the next phase of where they're able to think things through and really evaluate, like, what have I done to get myself to this point? And so once people get past the grieving stage of where they grieve the life that they thought that they should have been living, they start to really focus on themselves. They start to introspect. They start to go within. You can get a person who has never gone within in their life before really reevaluate their entire thought process or their life. As soon as they go through that phase, they go into the phase of like rebalancing themselves or trying to recalibrate things. They start to worry about their foundation. You're actually the type of person that makes people realize that they've been feeding into broken foundations, or whatever it is that they're trying to build doesn't have solid ground. And you're usually the first person to show that. And you do it indirectly. You don't even actually point out what people are doing wrong. It's just by them being around you and seeing how you live your life, it inadvertently shines a light on the things that they need to work on. And so sometimes you get blamed for things that are not even your fault. People get triggered around you by things that you bring up in their lives without even trying. And so sometimes you get blamed for things that are not even your fault. But once they realize that their foundation is broken, if they're the type of person that actually wants better for themselves, they really start focusing on what they can do to build a more solid ground for themselves. And they do this slowly but surely. You wouldn't know it, but even people that are resistant to your advice and the things that you show them, they end up eventually adopting better habits. And so after they learn that their life is not going where they want it to, after they've done all the inner work and really reflected on it, they start taking action, and then they implement those seeds. They start planting better seeds so that their harvest could reap something that's actually beneficial to them. And so after they've, planted those seeds, it's like the source, divine, the cosmos come in and give them what it is that they've been asking for because they've been putting in the work. And so people that are usually stubborn, don't want to be told what to do, don't care what anybody says, you may be the first person that they actually listen to, and they implement the advice that you give them to the point where their life gets better. They start getting better opportunities. They start to love themselves, take care of themselves, self-care, self-love, self-admiration. So you don't even know it, but you were one of the people's first encounters with God, because of God lives within us, right? And so the energy and the light that you carry, it actually has had a very impactful presence in people's lives, because you were able to kind of teach people things and show them things indirectly that their own parents couldn't even show them. Like, you showed people how their mindsets are very self-limiting. Like, people are realizing that they literally put themselves in the hole that they were in. You actually help people realize that they've been in like a crab in a barrel type of mentality, and they don't actually see it until they're presented with somebody who's not in that vibration. And you are not. You are very capable. You are the type of person that can open doors where they don't even exist. You can open up portals to get anything that you desire. So to somebody who's not familiar with those type of concepts, it seems very woo-woo until they see that it actually works. It works. It works for you. And those same methods that you somehow teach to others ends up working for them. So some of you guys are like spiritual teachers, or the knowledge and the wisdom and the downloads that you get from source, you're meant to kind of spread that to help other people as well. That's if they're open to it. But what you make people realize is that you know how to show people unconditional love, because you're not asking for anything in return other than just showing them the truth of existence, right? You also show people that some of the people in their lives are possessed by entities. They're literally demons in human form. And that's when they start to realize this trickster spirit, it's so much more meticulous than what it looks like. It's like a spirit. It's not something that is easily identifiable, but it's an energy that you can feel. You can feel when someone's possessed. You can feel it. You can feel it in the sacral chakra. You can feel it in their solar plexus. And you're kind of teaching people how to identify the demons in their life so they can eradicate their lives of it. And also, you teach people boundaries. You teach them how they should probably keep a distance from certain things that really don't serve them in the long haul. You help people get to a calmer place. I can't tell you how many people that you've helped get rid of the majority of their issues that were self-imposed. Some people have even came out of depression because of you. You've helped people see like there's a different way of life. You do not have to suffer in this cyclical cycle of hell of doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's the revolving door that you show to other people. It's like you've enlightened other people to the fact that their dreams is possible. The things that they want is possible. They just have to basically plant the right seeds and focus on themselves and really focus on the foundation at hand. You also taught people that just because you miss them, it doesn't mean they're good for you. You really help people see like just how they've kept themselves stuck. You help them see in the ways in which they sabotage themselves, like feeding into their fears and their negative thinking. If you have a bad day and you have a bad thought and you just continuously go off of that bad thought and you don't put a stop to it, it can generate misfortune. And so you're teaching people that even if your environment looks crazy, you don't have to consent to that in your mind. You can want something better for yourself. You can generate something better for yourself. And this is how you're helping people in the long run. The ones that have encountered you and have taken your advice, their parents couldn't do this. And you're doing it. You're helping their children be raised in a more empowered, healthy state in a stable environment. Why? Because their parents are looking at things from a much higher perspective. And so they're sending that knowledge over to their descendants, to their children. So you're not only helping people right now, you're helping the next generation by giving their parents the tools that they need in order to raise empowered children. So like, you're insane in the best way possible. Like, you don't even understand how much of an impact you're having in humanity just by being who you are. You already have an inner compass. Your inner compass is guided by source. It's guided by God, whatever you call it. You believe in a higher power, or you know that you're being guided somewhere. And so people are seeing that it's working for you, and they trust in what you're saying because you're the proof in the pudding. Your life is proof that everything's working in your favor. Your life is proof that you can change your environment by just using your mind. And I feel like this is part of how you spread God's word, is by showing people that they do not have to live in those lower density energies and frequencies. You can want better for yourself despite whatever your environment may look like.